Good afternoon, Rochester Memorial students and families. Mr. Medeiros here with this week's Medeiros Minute. Boys and girls, I want to thank you for a great week of learning this week at RMS. Did an outstanding job. Proud of all the work this week. Parents and guardians, boys and girls, I know we're all excited that the RMS Spiritwear School online store is open so that we can purchase our RMS Spiritwear. Just a reminder, time is running out to get your RMS Spiritwear as the school store will close this Sunday, January 24th at 11:59 p.m. If you're looking to purchase RMS Spiritwear, please log into the online store, which can be accessed utilizing the link sent in the previous email. I will also be including that link again, parents and guardians and boys and girls, in the email that goes out for this Medeiros Minute. But just did want to remind everyone that if you're looking to purchase RMS Spiritwear, that time is running out as the school store will close this Sunday, January 24th, 11:59 p.m. Reminder, if you are ordering anything from the online store, that those items will be shipped directly to your home within about a week. Nothing comes here to the school. Anything that you order will be shipped directly to your home. But I did want to remind everyone, time is running out. School store will close for Spiritwear this Sunday, January 24th, 11:59 p.m. Boys and girls in grades 3 through 5, Library Lisa asked me to share this message with you. She's saying, attention kiddos in grades 3 through 5, do you love the library and enjoy reading? Would you like an opportunity to join a book club to talk about good books and other stuff, like with like-minded kiddos? We are seeking more members for Book Buds Tween Club. There are 3 different clubs: the Book Buds Teen for 6th graders and up, Book Buds Tween for 3rd through 5th graders, and Book Buds Junior for children ages 6 and 7. Book Buds meet once per month. Members bring a book they have recently read or are currently reading to share with the group. Club members share why these titles are recommended or not recommended. Snacks will be served and a lively discussion occurs. The Teen Club meets the first Friday of each month at 4 p.m. The Tween Club meets the first Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. And Book Buds Junior meets the first Saturday of the month at 11 a.m. These times and dates are subject to change. Registration is required on the Plum Library event calendar, and any details specific to the monthly meeting will be noted on the event calendar post. Any questions can be directed directly to Miss Lisa over at Plum Library. Just a reminder, her email is lfuller@salesinc.org. Her information can also be found, parents and guardians, on the Plum Library web page. So I did want to share that message for Miss Lisa over at Plum Library. Speaking of libraries, our own Miss Solauer here in the Media Center has been sending home these orange slips. These slips might be one of them or more than one. Stapled together are titles of the books with the book number and the date that your child signed the book out, dating back to March 13th of last school year. These books have not been returned yet, so we're asking our parents and guardians and students to be looking out at home or in their vehicles for their library book. If you do find it, please take this orange slip, put it in the book, and you return it to school to your classroom teacher, who will then pass it on to Ms. Solar. I want to thank Ms. Solar and Mr. Forns for their efforts on that, really creating a nice system to ensure that our library books do get back here to Ms. Solar and our wonderful media center here at Rochester Memorial. Boys and girls, I also wanted to review proper use of our school-issued device. So I know our students in K-1 have iPads that were distributed, and our students in grades 2 through 6 have their Chromebooks. Boys and girls, those devices are to be used for school purposes only, to make sure we're accessing our Google Classrooms, make sure we're able to join in those morning meeting and closing circle Zooms, or the hybrid out synchronous or asynchronous work our teachers are posting for us, or our specialist blocks as well. Reminder, those school-issued devices are not to be used for personal reasons. We should not be trying to download apps on the iPads, and we should not be trying to access games or inappropriate sites that are not school-related on the school-issued device. Any questions about proper use of the school-issued device, please feel free to log into the RMS Student Handbook right on our webpage, and there is a section in the handbook related to all of the proper uses of the school-issued device. Boys and girls, parents and guardians in K-2, excited to announce that the Rochester Memorial School Committee did unanimously vote last night to approve a pivot to a full in-person model for our K-2 students. With that being said, parents and guardians, boys and girls, that now shifts our 2 learning models in K-2 from hybrid and full remote to full in-person and full remote. So currently, the 2 learning models for all grade levels are hybrid in, hybrid out, or full remote. So for our K-2 grade levels, with the vote last night from the Rochester Memorial School Committee, the K-2 grade levels will now pivot to a full in-person model choice or full remote. So I know there were some questions. We did discuss this a little bit at the December 17th school committee meeting. It wasn't really mentioned too much last night, but I did want to remind our parents and guardians, those students in the full remote model, K-2, can stay in the full remote model. They do not need to return full in person if you feel that's the best approach or learning model for your child. So once again, K-2 students, parents and guardians, the two learning models that the school committee did approve for us to pivot to will now be, instead of hybrid, a full in-person model or full remote. A reminder, parents and guardians of students in grades 3 through 6, the two learning model choices for all students in grades 3 through 6 remains hybrid in or and hybrid out or full remote. So grades 3 through 6, you still have the hybrid and remote learning models, where K-2 is shifting to full in-person instead of hybrid or a full remote. With that being said, just a couple of things I wanted to give a little bit more detail to. I know that many of our parents and guardians were in attendance at last night's school committee meeting, and we appreciate your attendance at the meeting. If you were not able to make the meeting and you would like to see those presentations, the Rochester Memorial School Committee webpage will have the link to the recorded meeting, because all of our meetings, school committee meetings, are recorded, so you'll be able to watch that again. I also know it will be on ORC TV, local cable access as well. With that being said, boys and girls, those iPads and Chromebooks that we were just discussing, K1 iPads, second grade Chromebooks, those Chromebooks will come back to school with you when we pivot to full in-person on February 2nd. So no need to bring those back and forth home or leave them home. Those devices will come back to school so that you can utilize them as a tool here while you're in school. I know our teachers will still have you utilizing those iPads in K1, and I know our second grade students will still be using Chromebooks, but you'll use them here at school, and you will not need to bring them back and forth. They will not need to go home at that point. I know in the presentation last night, we did show some photos of the room changes, but I did want to specify and make families and parents and guardians aware of what those room changes will be. So for example, in our kindergarten classrooms, Mrs. Bakayaki and Mrs. Weigel will stay in the same rooms. Their rooms were large enough to add 6 desks to each room in order to account for the full class to be in person, maintaining 6-foot distancing, which was very important. So Ms. Bakayaki and Mrs. Weigel's class will stay the same. We're just adding those six desks in order to account for the full class to return. Mrs. St. Isaac's kindergarten class will transition to the media center. Her classroom was a little smaller from a square footage standpoint, so in order to maintain 6-foot distancing, Mrs. St. Isaac's class will move to the media center, one of our larger communal spaces, in order to account for all of her students and maintaining the 6-foot distancing. In first grade, this grade level will have the most changes. Our first grade classes, from a square footage standpoint, are a little smaller than our other rooms, so therefore they are moving to some of our larger specialist or communal spaces in order to account for all of the students to fit with the 6-foot distance that we've been discussing that we want to maintain. So therefore, with that being said, Mrs. Alexander's class will be moving to the music room. Mrs. Lucas's class will be moving to the band room, and Mrs. Nelson's class will be moving to the art room. In second grade, a little bit of movement, but a little less movement than our first grade group. So, and that is due to our second grade does have the open classroom concept in the grade 2 suite. Mrs. Alves will stay in the open classroom. Right now, her and Mrs. Topolsky have the wall up, and they're utilizing both spaces, but that wall will be open up again, and that open classroom will once again be one large space, where Mrs. Alves will stay in that large space with her classroom. Ms. Tupolsky will then shift over across the hall to room B112. That room was a little larger than the other 2 second grade classrooms that are across the hall from the open room. So she will be moving into that room in order to account for her class and keeping those desks at the 6-foot distance. Mrs. Bradley's class is shifting to the gymnasium in order to have her full class in attendance while maintaining that 6-foot distancing. Mrs. Bradley will be shifting to the gymnasium. Any questions about those moves or questions to the classroom teachers about what the environment will look like at that point once the students do move on February 2nd to those new places for full in-person? Please don't hesitate to contact the classroom teacher or myself or Mr. West, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you. Boys and girls and parents and guardians, we will next week will still be a hybrid week. So Monday will be a hybrid out experience for all of our students. And then Tuesday to Friday will still be hybrid for all grade levels, K through 6. And our K-2 classrooms will be hybrid, but in their new space, so that our students can get acclimated to their new environment. One of the social emotional philosophy tools that we use here at Rochester Memorial is responsive classroom. And in our responsive classroom practices, it's really getting to know our environment, really getting to know our routines and in our classroom. And obviously, our students have routines established in their current space. We want to give them time to work with their classroom teachers to establish new routines and get acclimated to their new environment. As we do each year in the first 6 weeks of school, we take a great pride in the first 6 weeks in really establishing those routines. So next week will be a hybrid week, but I wanted our K-2 families and parents and guardians to know that the hybrid classes will take place next week in the new space so our students can get acclimated. The following week, February 1st, is still a hybrid out. It's the last hybrid out day for our K-2 students. 3 to 6 students will also be a hybrid out day for you as well, but it is a half day for professional development. So that's why, as a committee, the school committee wanted to have our students start full in-person K-2 on February 2nd. So once again, February 1st will still be a full remote day. On that Monday, it will be a half day for professional development, and then our K-2 kiddos will come back full in person on that day. Questions about transportation. So if your child is currently an active rider, whether they are a cohort A or cohort B student, they will continue to be an active rider in K-2 in the new full in-person model. So once again, if your child is currently an active rider, regardless what cohort they're in K-2, when we pivot to the full in-person model, your child will still be an active rider on that bus. Please note that some of our bus routes will be adjusted, and some of the students will have to transition or be distributed to different buses in order to account for this pivot to a full in-person return for our K-2 students. Any questions about transportation, please feel free to reach out to myself or Mrs. Abre, or even our business office, and speak to our assistant superintendent, Mr. Barber. He would be happy to answer questions about transportation. I would like to thank Emerald Bus Company and Ms. Cheryl Sweeney for their hard work in ensuring that making those adjustments to the routes and ensuring that our kiddos can still be safe on the bus while being transported. If there are any new or requests for transportation, those requests will be sent over to our business office and Emerald Bus Company, and those new requests for transportation will be put on a wait list. So I did want to let parents and guardians know about that. Parents and guardians, there will be a question and answer session. There's actually 2 of them scheduled for next week. The first one is Monday, January 25th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. The Zoom link will be sent out on Monday, the 25th, for that meeting. Please feel free to attend. If you cannot attend, don't worry. We will have a second Q&A session that is that week scheduled on Thursday, January 28th, same time, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., and that will have its own Zoom link sent out as well. So any questions about or want to hear information, more information about the K-2 pivot to full in-person for our students, please attend those Q&A sessions. Again, the first one, Monday, January 25th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., and that Zoom link will be sent out on Monday. Boys and girls, this month of January, we are focusing on self-control and self-management as part of our CARES motto. Self-control looks like thinking before you speak or act, working hard to control your own behavior, managing big emotions like anger and excitement to keep the school environment safe. Self-management is about regulating your emotions, controlling impulses, managing stress, and persevering through challenging academic tasks. I hope everyone has a great weekend, boys and girls. I want to remind you, please take care of yourself, take care of others, take care of your environment.